Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have this new Nissan Pathfinder, and then this is the SV trim, so it's not the highest trim. It is like between, it's like under the platinum trim. And then starting with the front end, it looks amazing. We do have reflector LED lighting. I really wish they were like projector, but unfortunately they are not projector. We do have an LED DRL on the top. And then we have this plastic grille. The quality is not the best. You can definitely hear the creaks in there. We have these 18-inch rims. The color on these is actually like quite weird. They are not fully blacked out and they are not fully chrome. It's just like a mix of gray. But overall, it does look pretty amazing. We have our Pathfinder on the side of the door fenders. And then in the back over here, the design is also quite good. However, once again, we don't have fully LED tail lights in the back either. And this is the SV trim, so it is a little bit cheaper compared to the other higher trims. I wish this like wiper was actually like hidden under the spoiler because it does give it a more clean look just compared to just like sticking out of nowhere. And then the other main issue is that we don't have any exhaust tips. Instead, we have this small hidden one on the side. I mean, it's okay, but it would just like looked way better if it actually had like physical, just like double exhaust on both sides. That would have looked amazing. So I have the hood popped open. Under the hood, we have this 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6. This makes 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. It's actually kind of underpowered compared to other V6s in this era. And then the other thing I've seen is that Nissan really did cheap out on making this vehicle, even though it's not as like a budget friendlier as other lower end vehicles. Once is they have no shocks. Instead, we have this. I mean, it's okay, but still, like they could have just put two shocks on the side. And once again, there's literally no engine cover on top of the engine, which is a must-have. Especially that Nissan really doesn't make these engine bays that clean compared to other vehicles. And then also, this is paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. We can have this in 4-wheel drive, but this particular model is only front-wheel drive. Before we move on, I would really like to thank Chevrolet of Commerce. They like currently have like really like nice deals on like different vehicles, and then they are also offering free lifetime warranty on like on all new vehicles purchased. Okay, so starting with the interior, it's not really the best in class interior compared to other competitions. Let's say the Chevy Blazer or even the Chevy Traverse can be compared with this, which I will be doing that in like a separate video. However, this is push start. So right from the beginning, we do have this leather wrapped steering wheel. It feels really light, really smooth. However, it is not heated, which is a must. Especially, we do have heated seats, so why not a heated steering wheel? And the materials used, I would say, is actually quite surprisingly good, even though they are like cutting corners in other places. It's all soft touch leather on the top, soft touch material all the way through. However, they do have some really cheap plastic for the door handles over here. And then these like switches are also all plastic, and they're really cheap. You have creaks in the dashboard and everything, but however, all leather wrapped, which I actually do like that. And then we do have this instrument cluster over here. It's not the best, but it still does give you quite information, but not as much as the competition. It just only barely gives us our speed, our tire pressure, and other vehicle information. It really doesn't bring out as much information, let's say, as the Chevy Traverse or the GMCs bring out. and especially those German brands do bring out. I know the German brands can't really be compared because of the price point, but we can definitely compare these to like the Chevy Traverse. We do have paddle shifters. The quality of those actually surprisingly feels really solid. However, they are fully plastic. And then, however, this is the SV trim. We still do get quite amount of safety features. We do have our steering assist, which actually works only with cruise control. We also have adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind monitoring, and automatic braking. But once again, the quality in some points is actually really bad. And then in the center dash over here, we do have this display. It actually feels quite small compared to other vehicles. We do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but unfortunately it like only works if you have it plugged in via USB. It is not wireless. We do have Bluetooth and stuff, but in order to actually use the Apple CarPlay, it must be plugged in. And then it's not really as smooth. It just feels kind of lagging too. And we don't really have built-in nav either. I believe it's an extra option, but it's not standard in this system. But overall, this like infotainment system is not the best. It actually feels quite outdated. But if you're just gonna only use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, then I think it's not that bad. However, one thing I do like is that they did offer us physical buttons on the side, menu, phone, and even it pulls up the backup camera too, which is quite good. And then over here on the side, we have our volume controls and then our radio tune scrolling over here. One thing I don't like is, however, is that we have piano black all over the climate controls and the radio, and then it like really does collect all of the dust and all of the fingerprints, so it's not the best. I wish they just put this soft touch leather over here. It would have looked amazing. And then down over here below, we do have our climate controls, but like once again, these like climate controls feels little outdated when we compare them to the competition. We do have heated seats. Vented seats is an option, but not standard. You can see their animations. They're all old as they used to do it a few years back, but I wouldn't really complain. It's okay. It's not the best, however, but it is okay. And then down below, I wish there was a wireless charging pad. Unfortunately, we don't have that. We do have two USB ports, one USB-C and then one USB-A, and then a lighter port as well. And then we have two cup holders over here, and then a small storage over here. One thing I do like is that this gear shifter actually has soft touch leather on it. They didn't really cheap out on that, and it's actually quite easy to use. I have to press the button on the side, reverse. That does bring out the rear view camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the 360-degree camera. It's only the rear view camera, and it's also not HD quality. That is also one thing I will be complaining about, is in the competition they have really good HD clear rear view cameras, which this Nissan doesn't have. And then for drive, same thing. I just push it back, and if I want to go to manual, I will just do it back one more time, and that puts it into manual. And for P, I just press it. And once again, hard plastic all over here. I wish they could have just done something better than hard plastic or piano black. We do have our automatic parking brake, electronic parking brakes, engine auto start stop, and then here we have our mode switch. It does look a little weird and outdated, but however, it does work. We have a few modes. We have the sport mode. It does put it into like a more aggressive gear shifts, more power. We have a standard, which is just like the normal cruising around the city. And we also have snow, if you're driving in snow, and eco mode, which will conserve fuel. And these seats, they're actually quite good, even though they're cloth seats. They are heated though, as I did told before, but I really do like the design in them, and they do look amazing at this price point. We do have a small amount of storage over here on the side, And then we do have a center console. Okay, so back in the second row of this Nissan Pathfinder, the the quality in the back is quite bad. Nissan just really didn't want to spend that much money in the back. It looks like we did have soft touch materials in the front, which was amazing, but they did cheap out. It's all hard plastic all over the through, and then once again the same type of really cheap design door handles, all plastic. It like really doesn't feel that good over here. We do have two massive cup holders, a small cubby in the back, and then right now I do have the front seat in like the normal driving position, and then this seat is, I would say, like where it needs to be in like the middle space, because if we put it all the way back, which I will do right now, it does give me a lot of leg room, but at the same time there wouldn't be enough leg room in the third row seat. So the perfect amount is just in the middle. We do have our own climate control, which is amazing, but once again, heated seats or cooled seats are not standard in this trim level. We do have two USB ports, one USB A and one USB C. Just like climate control is actually quite easy to use, but like once again, the animations, the dials is just literally just like pulled out of an old Nissan, and then just kept on using them in 2024, 2025. And also, we do have a small center console over here. We do have two cup holders and a little bit of storage, but the quality is not the best. So like since we have like the bench seating in the second row, it means that like we don't have the access in the middle. So in order to access the third row seats, we do have a button over here, which is quite good. It will pull the seat up. In this type of position, it does give you room to access the third row seating. And then it's quite cramped in the third row. It's not as good as other third row SUVs. Right now, I'm literally cramped because these like third row seats are not high enough. So my knees are literally like this. It's not comfortable, especially on long road trips. And the quality in the back is quite bad. Hard plastic, no USB chargers. At least one USB is needed, but we have nothing. We do have two cup holders, and basically that's it. As I said before, this seat is currently in the like the medium position at this level. My feet, like the way it's just designed in the back is really bad. It's not just about the leg room, but it's also about the height of the third row seats. They are just like so lowered that the position is not comfortable. However, we do have a button over here which we can press, so it can fold it for you to get out. And what I mean by the positioning is, I will show it to you. You can see that the seats are like way too lowered to the ground. So when you're sitting on them, your like knees will be over here. So just a really horrible design. I would just say that this vehicle is not really made for the third row seating. It should only be two rows. So like starting with the trunk, we do have quite a decent amount of room if we have the third row seats folded up. We do have more storage under this flap, and then if we have the third row seats completely folded, it will give you quite a lot of room in the back too. If you guys did find this video interesting, please do like and subscribe. I do come out with a weekly content, so please do stay updated, and thank you.